All right. So what I had to do was I had deleted a bunch of videos that I had there. Some of them were pretty precious to me, but oops. Oh well. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. So this is me out here in the morning. Um, Typically I come down here by myself, but yeah, this morning, I did my typical thing. Came down here by myself. I poured a nice little cup of coffee. Mm. And I got crullers. Now somebody turned me on to these because I normally the Dunkin' Donuts kind I don't like, but these aren't so bad. These are Krispy Kremes. I bought them at the store yesterday. Oh well, but yeah, I'm having donuts and coffee in the woods. Yeah, we got a little bit of garbage. Every once in a while, I find garbage out here. Today, I don't feel like carrying it out, so I'll just leave it there for next time. I'm not videoing. I don't got a bunch of stuff with me, but yeah, this is the best little. This right here is the best little thermos I've ever had. It keeps stuff warm forever. It only holds a little bit though. It doesn't hold that much. Maybe 4 or 5 cups of coffee. So I've got one that's high capacity, like for when I go to work. It holds a lot of coffee. And it gets me through to about lunch. And by then I'm good and hungry because, as we know, caffeine is a appetite curber. I know. It used to be, the name of this video, by the way, used to be. It's kind of like why I like to get out in the woods and do my thing. It used to be, a sip of coffee, everybody. It used to be that, here's my beautiful stick. I got it propped up against a tree, little sapling tree. And, you always gotta, you come out to a place like this, you gotta have a stick with you. Although we don't have a shortage of sticks, there's plenty of them. But I live way over there, past those trees and above, about right around the horizon there. That's where I live. So I walked away a little far back, and I wonder if I could turn this thing around. It says I could take a snapshot, but yay snapshots. But yeah, I come down here. Apparently I can't turn it around midstream. So what I can do is literally turn it around. Who wants to look at my coffee all day? Used to be I could hear well, and forgive me if I mumble, and but I can't hear very well. I've got to use things like headphones now and earbuds just to hear the smallest whisper of a voice when someone's yelling. And if you talk clearly, and it's amazing because there's this one person that calls me, and when I could hear, he was hard to understand, and he's a little speech impediment. Everybody got to have something, everybody's got their little quirks, and some people are born with bad feet, some people are born with bad backs, some of us bad ears. Some of us could go to the hospital and have it fixed. Some of us can't. Some of us, we're all individuals. And it used to be people were treated as individuals. Oh, now people are, whoa, hello. Here go my earbuds. It's all that I'm trying to listen to anybody anyways. But it helps if you could hear me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it used to be that people were treated as individuals. And, it's like, yeah, little Johnny, little Sally, little Mary, little Peter, little Paul. Whatever you're into, But recently it's gotten to the point where people aren't being treated as individuals anymore. They're being classified into groups. And some people are happy to be in those groups. I'm not one of those people. That's just it. I'm just not one of those people. I believe people are. I don't care what you believe. Honestly, I really don't care what you believe. You believe in the Pope. You can believe in Hare Krishna. You can believe in Allah himself. I really don't care. That's that's just me. Cheers. But people are happy to get in those groups. They're just, yay, I'm part of something, you know? May all those people be your family that you're part of. That's where I'm going to start. May all those people be your family, you know? Whether they're the family of Jesus or they're family of, you know, whatever. If you're into street gangs, then may they all be your family. And never be separated until death do you part. But you know, the things I want to be part of apparently aren't working out for me. I want an actual family. But it's part of the reason I'm sitting in the woods by myself today, because it's just, that kind of thing just doesn't work out for me for some reason. I try to be of high spirits, but sometimes I get a little distressed, especially when for one reason or another something's failing. See, now with my hearing, it goes in and out. Kind of depends on the weather, and like I said, I apologize for mumbling, but when I can hear, or when I could hear better, I had to learn to enunciate out of fear that I would someday lose my hearing. So I had to work on my S's, my T's, my F's, and my B's, and make sure they came out right. That way, and the volume too. There's a volume thing too. It sounds like a lot of times I either speak so softly because I think I'm speaking too loudly. It's kind of weird. Either I think I'm speaking too loudly, so I underestimate and I speak softly. And I can tell by the amount of air that's going through my esophagus about how loud I am. And excuse me. And sometimes I'll be speaking so softly that the people right next to me can't hear me, and that's kind of frustrating for them. Another thing was used to be I could hear, and I could hear so good I could hear a pin drop in the next room, and every once in a while my hearing pops in and out. I'll be able to hear that well, and the things I hear are disturbing, to say the least. To say the least, the very least. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. But people change, and there seems to be, you know, and now that I come out of the closet with my hearing thing, I find out a lot of my friends. Some people I know that their parents. There's people out here that are probably watching right now. Their parents kind of suffered from the same, whether it be birth defect or injury or illness. Illness is another one that they for some reason or another had a loss of hearing. You know, like I said, some people have back problems, some people have foot problems, some people have mental problems, and sometimes there's people that, I'll just put it plainly, and I get my sense of humor from my grandfather. I wish he was still here. He would love this place. And thank God I still have my vision. I'd hate to be walking around like a Helen Keller, walking around not being able to hear or see. That would suck. But so I kind of rely on my vision now, and believe it or not, my vision is very acute for my age, 47, and that's what part of this is about, the glasses. At night, lights hurt my eyes, and I have to have certain shades. Actually, I can't just wear normal sunglasses. I gotta have amber, yellow, green works real well for me. Blue actually is kind of, I don't know. I like blue. I do like it, but it's middle of the road. It doesn't really help or hurt, but it's fun to see. See everything in blue colored sunglasses. It's kind of cool. I got some new coffee. It's called Butterscotch. If you ever get a chance, pick up a bag. It was only like $8 or $9. Yeah, today I didn't have to work, so I'm out in the woods drinking coffee. That's okay. I wish you guys were here. Yeah. When I could hear well, I would. And by the way, my notifications, they sound like birds and things that I miss, and they're real loud. So when they go into my earbuds here, when they go in, I can hear them. And another one I have is it sounds like when you crack a beer and you drop the little tab. These high pitched noises, I can still hear those a little bit. So, but when someone speaks in a lower tone, so there's a friend of mine, and a very, very important person in my life, and her voice is a higher pitched, and I can hear it, and it's a special treat for me, and I'm an emotional person, so I get happy, I get sad, I get I guess I heard a noise, and it came up from this side. This here is way better than this here. This here, poof, it's almost dull. So I keep my microphone on this side. Most of the time, I'll wrap it around like this button here. I'll wrap it around so that you can hear me well. I can't. I love it when the sun comes out right on my face. That's awesome. Thank you, Jesus. That's what I'm into, by the way. I can hear noise coming off of this side, and it sounds like rustling, but it's got to be close. But I don't see anything. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't care about time. Not on my day off. I don't even look at a watch. I don't care about time. I had a little friend that asked me. Cheers, by the way. See my thermos. It's American Expedition. I don't know who makes it. There's no stamp on it, but it says white-tailed deer. Odocoleus virginianus. Virginianus. Odio Coileus virginianus. White-tailed deer inhabit the largest and I can't read that word because it's scratched out. And wait. And the west. Largest area are the most abundant of all game animals in North America, and areas where ground cover is extensive. A deer may live its entire life within a few square miles. That means they don't travel. They don't. Unlike birds, they don't migrate. Native vegetation such as wild roses and buckbrush, as well as farm-grown corn and Milo. Corn and Milo, whatever Milo is, make up much of their diet. Whitetail will gather in small herds of no more than a dozen animals of the same sex. Depending on their food supply, an average adult can weigh up to 350 pounds. That's a big animal right there. Well, after you field dress them, you're looking at about 275 tops, depending on the animal. After you skin them, obviously, you have bones. You're looking at about 100 pounds of meat. About a third. And not that the rest of it is waste. So if you happen to harvest deer, let's say up to 350 pounds, we'll say a healthy deer is about 250. 350 is a great big buck. That's a great big daddy. And so your average is going to be about 250. That's in weight. And in points, you knuckleheads. But excuse me. Yeah. So be able to, how much food, how much can you feed your family with 100 pounds of meat? You could pretty much, with proper storage and preservation techniques, you could probably stretch that out to about 3 months. A family of 3, 4. It's about a pound a day. Pound of meat a day is plenty of meat, and plus there's no fat in deer, so you've got to mix a little bit of fat in there somehow. Obviously, donuts is not the way to go. We're talking different kinds of fat, like pork fat or beef. A lot of people wrap their steaks in bacon and things like that. Or again, natural fat like nuts. Nuts are high in good fat and more protein. But if you eat too much deer, if all you ate was deer and nothing else, you would probably starve to death, believe it or not. You'd go crazy for one. That's way too much protein. Not enough fat, not enough sugar to process all that, Yeah, if all you had was deer or rabbit, you would probably go nuts. So, which, interestingly enough, they are the easiest to catch. If you had to. But it used to be we had people that taught us things. And that doesn't... We're slowly learning. We're slowly learning actually too much. We're way advanced, for our species. And this happened in the last 100 years that technology took over. And we're not teaching our children enough of this kind of stuff. We're not teaching them enough of that. They need to learn more of that stuff. How to get out and be with the nature, and how to be... we need to go backwards a little bit. A lot of times we see our children sitting on the couches playing video games or glued to a TV set, or, interestingly enough, a computer like you might be watching this on. Even the little mini kind that you have in your hand. And our generation is losing. Every generation it goes is more technologically advanced as we are. We're losing a little bit. Now kids they don't know how to. They wouldn't know how to dig a hole to plant a stalk of corn if you handed them a book and walked them through it. They'd rather sit on the couch. A lot of kids, not all of them. I hate to group people or generalize people. That's another bad thing. Like I said at the beginning of the video, individualism. We're all individuals, so some kids don't have the capacity to learn that kind of stuff. Yeah, but you hand them an Xbox, man. They master it in 2 days. They beat the game up and wait for the next game to come out. And I'm one of those kids, believe it or not. And I started noticing. I whipped, let me think what the game was. There was a game. Oh, Top Gun. I beat it in 6 hours. All levels in 6 hours. I was through with the game. I looked down and said, well, I wasted $60 right there. I paid $10 an hour to master a game. And it was a flying game, shoot 'em up. You fly a plane around and shoot down any planes, and there was ground targets and some fictional country, Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan. I like me some Kyrgyzstan. That's the world's, and people are getting trolled. It's funny because that's a new word too, being trolled. We used to do that back in the day. We used to, tease the teacher, make fart noises when they had their backs to us, writing on the chalkboard. Who did that? That's basically what's going on. You got a big who did that situation. Something happens. Who did it? Who's responsible? It's a phenomenon. Some people aren't into it. They just don't get into it. I kind of do it for fun. It's like jigsaw puzzle for me. You put the pieces together, and then eventually you get a picture. And that's where I am with politics. But let me make video 2 here because this one is getting a little lengthy.